And so, ladies and gentlemen, as we begin this week, the typical roller coaster ride of an Edmonton Oilers season is at the very top of its crest with two absolutely huge wins over the Ottawa Senators. And of course, the next game is going to be against the Calgary Flames, and that is always, the first game against the Flames is always going to be one of the most important games of the season for the Edmonton Oilers. And with any luck, their typical, their most familiar opponent is one that I would call him complacency. This is a team that far too often over the past several years has at times just gotten a little bit too comfortable at this particular stage of a season, where they seem to be at the top of their game and everything is going their way and they're playing exactly the way that they want to play. And sometimes they get a couple of days off and they come back and they're not so fast out of the gate. And for the past several years, the Calgary Flames are just not an opponent who can be confronted like that. They're a team that if you show up and you play any less hard than you should against them, they're going to find a way to beat you. Now, as the puck drops for that game on Saturday, and so as we look ahead to that puck drop on Saturday, in all honesty, we don't really even have a good sense of what that team is going to look like on Saturday. Forward Sam Bennett has requested a trade. More recently, he's been a healthy scratch. It looks like, perhaps either he's just not getting along the way the Flames management expect him to, or perhaps they might have a trade done and they might have another player in his place as that puck drops on Saturday. As I record this video, nobody's clear on that at this particular time. And as we've seen already this year, the absence of one star player is not enough to by any means guarantee a victory in this particular division. We've already seen the Jets beat the Oilers without Patrick Laine. We've already seen the Maple Leafs beat the Oilers without Austin Matthews. So if anybody thinks that just because one player is not going to be there for the Flames when this puck drops on Saturday, if they think that just because of that this is going to be an easy win for the Oilers, well, they need to think twice about that. But in any event, over this next week in particular, with the next 3 games being 1 game against Calgary and 2 games against Ottawa, the Oilers do have a very good opportunity to climb in the standings a little bit and improve their record. I don't think that it is necessarily unthinkable that they could end that 3-game stretch, 3 games over 500 before they have to face Montreal again. I mean, I'm not counting on it, but it is possible, and we'll just have to wait and see what happens with that.